Now I'm going to show you how to fillet a salmon. First thing we need to do is remove the head of the salmon. For this process I'm actually going to use my boning knife. I'm going to hold the fish by the gill and I'm going to cut behind the gill forward into the head, cutting from both sides, and then cut through the spine and the head will pull off the fish. Now we're going to show you how to fillet the salmon. I'm going to lie the salmon along the edge of my work surface so the back is facing me. I'm going to take the filleting knife. We know that the spine runs down the length of the fish at this depth. We guide our knife on top of the spine, feel the spine underneath the knife, and just draw the knife down the length of the fish using my hand on top of the fish to keep a little bit of pressure on top of the blade. And there's the spine all the way along the length of the fish. Second cut is made down the rib cage and the first fillet lifts off the top of the fish. Now I'm going to turn the fish over. I'm going to fillet the second side. First cut, we place the knife in underneath the spine of the fish on top of the dorsal fin, and then we come gently towards the front of the fish, running the knife along the top of the spine. Then we can put the knife onto the top of the spine and push it forward down the length of the fish, releasing meat off the bone. Now we need to come up through the top of the pin bones and then down the rib cage in one nice long cut. Release the tail and we've got two beautiful fillets. There'll always be a little bit of flesh left on the bone. If you want to utilise this in pastas or in pate, just take a teaspoon and just rub the bone with the spoon and all the flesh will come off in beautiful nice strips, and you can utilise that nice bit of flesh. Now we need to trim the fillets. First thing we're going to do is straighten the front, and then we're going to remove the line along where the fish has been gutted, just to freshen up the side of the fillet. This white flesh on top, we can shave that off with the blade of the knife, removing as little flesh underneath the silver skin as possible. Just guide your knife along the silver flesh, it will just lift off, and then just tweak it away and it will all just come off the fish and leave a beautiful presentation. We want both fillets to look exactly the same, so we do the same cut to the second fillet. I'm going to trim the silver flesh off this side too. Just very gently scooping away, removing as little flesh with this skin as we can. Two beautifully presented fillets. Now we need to remove the bones out the inside of the fillet, and to do that we're going to use pliers. The bones will stand up on their ends with your fingers, just stand them up on both fillets, and then we're going to use the pliers to start from the tail end and very carefully take each bone one by one and remove them. These are quite large bones, as you can see, so just take your time making sure you remove every single bone from inside the fillet. Once you get the technique, you can speed up, you find out where the bones are. The critical ones are right in the end of the fillet, which are the ones that a lot of people leave in. So that one fillet is now totally boneless. Just check with the tip of your fingers all the way down the length of the fillet, and just there's a tiny one left in the end, which I'll now pull out. Second fillet is done in the same way. Just start at the tail end, take every single bone, and just work down the fillet very carefully. Don't try to remove too many bones at one time, else you'll make the fillet gape, in other words open, and then the two at the end, take those and pull them out. There's two totally boneless fillets, beautiful presentation. We're now going to show you how to skin the fillet by taking the fillet, laying it along the very edge of the work surface. For this, we're going to use the staking knife. The first time you've seen me use this one during filleting. Start at the tail end, go down to the skin, pull the tail as hard as you can with your free hand, and just guide the knife in a wiggle movement for about 3 or 4 inches. then take hold of the skin very aggressively and just push the knife forward without any movement, and it will drag along the skin and remove all of the skin in one piece and give you a perfect yield. Turn the fillet over and you've got the silver skin presentation. The silver skin runs along the whole length of the fish. There's a line of fat along the back, just lift that away with your fingers and you've got two beautiful presented fillets, a little bit of flesh for your tureens.